there's moments where I slip, and there's moments where maybe I get carried away with like the haha funny memes, and I think when I talk about certain internet drama and I mention certain brands, I don't do it like I'm a person. I'm very adverse to like drama. Like as you noticed during the BAP Campbot thing, I'm love BAP. I love Campbot. I don't like when people go at each other, but at the same time, I feel that above all things, you have to be honest with yourself and with other people. And if you're presenting yourself in such a way that is counterintuitive to what your message is just to achieve clout, and when you associate with certain people, or rather, when you get carried away in a movement that maybe doesn't have your interests in mind, I think that a lot of very good people have been hurt by not being honest and by following people who aren't honest. And I think that perhaps these platforms like BTR is leading a way for a true alternative to approach internet discourse that can have meaningful change. And there is other places too, like the American Sun and so forth, that have very good, very practical advice that ought to offer to people. But I just feel that there is a dirge in people who are willing to be honest and willing to engage within a radical openness to themselves and to others. And this is ultimately the corrosive that has dissolved every single internet movement, is this pervasive dishonesty and willingness to stab people in the back and to cut people down to get ahead, and to be a Janny and to clean it up and do it for free. And I think that these platforms are different because on this stream we're forced to confront each other with honesty. And even if you hide, even if you're behind an anon account or whatever, there's still this sense of authenticity that shines through. And so even though someone is bigger than us or has more clout or has more subscribers, at the end of the day, it's not going to matter, because I think people will follow people who are willing to engage in a higher level than just someone who's doing something for a dopamine high, or to play it like a game, or to follow whatever's the easiest. Because in reality, this isn't fucking easy. You know what I mean? None of it is, because when you can only have your own you only have your own resources, and you only have your own words, and you only have your own content, then it becomes very difficult. And sometimes you have to sacrifice, and you have to say, I'm not going to follow a crowd, or I'm not going to follow a movement, or I'm not going to follow a particular group, even though it might be easier. But along the way, it gets easier because you find other like minded people, and you find other people who are willing to have your back and engage in earnestness, rather than having strategic alliances with people because it can get you ahead. You know what I mean? Like, of course, like for example, I know there's certain posters on Twitter who I know that I followed when they were relatively small, and that have blown up even with numbers above my own. But I love that because their content is great, and that should be what matters the most. Is that you shouldn't have a resentfulness or a jealousy, even though it's something that I fight every day. It's something in the back of my mind, but you should always carry yourself in such a way where you have to know what's important, and good content is the most important in my opinion. It's the only thing that's going to get us out of the hell world that we find ourselves in. And if that means that you have to sort of grit your teeth and congratulate people that you helped out, and who knows, maybe they may forget you if they get to a certain point. But the fact that maybe you inspired people, even though you're relatively lower on the totem pole, that's a beautiful thing, because it's what you do in this world that may carry on and influence other people. And so when I cast shade on certain people, I believe in my heart that there are very bad and terrible people that have tried to destroy the online right, and that are continuing to be selfish. And there are certain people that I know are agents of chaos, and that you have to weed out, you have to suss out, and you have to call out, because the only way we're going to have any meaningful change is if you have good men, godly men, men of good standing, and women too, of course. I know that I hate to, like, I don't mean that they're an afterthought or whatever, but you have to have good people. And the only way to do that is if you're willing to engage with honesty and you're willing to call out evil when you see evil. Because that is said, to leave you with a quote from this is this is from Psalms 141:11. Let not an evil man speak, nor be established in the earth. Evil shall hunt the violent men to overthrow him. I know the Lord will maintain the cause of the afflicted and the righteousness of the poor. Sever the righteousness shall give thanks unto thy name. The upright shall dwell in thy presence. So remember,
Amen.
never let the evil, never let the wicked overcome you and overcome the things and the ideas and the values that you hold dear. And remember, even if the other man is ahead of you, even if the other man gets above you, when you know that you helped them, then do not let that jealousy hold you back, because you know that the good content, that's what matters. And that's what will get ahead. Even if it's in the mouth of the other and it's not in your mouth that determines that flow, then if you help that person along the way, then that's what matters, right?